Wow, Jaron Boots Ennis has been warned. You've been warned, pal. Blair the Flair Cobbs says he is feared in Philly and he would knock out Jaron Boots Ennis. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm boxing. I'm very, very much feared in Philadelphia. I'm very unpredictable. My movements are incredibly fast and unpredictable. A counterpuncher will not be able to counterpunch me for very. These are some of the words of Blair the Flair Cobb in a recent interview with Fight Hype. He continues by saying, quote, Jaron Ennis, he ain't never seen nobody like me. I'm faster and stronger than him. I guarantee you he's going, and it might be early with the ego that he has. Wow. That's from Blair the Flair. Listen, my thing is this. Blair the Flair, I think his shtick is kind of like WrestleMania, WWE, WWF type of ordeal. So last time I checked, I don't think he has a home. He's basically homeless as a boxer. He was with Golden Boy, but his contract ran out or whatever. He bought himself, whatever happened, but he's not with Golden Boy any longer. So as a result, he's trying to jog up some interest. Now, he said he's feared in Philly. Personally, me, I didn't even know he was from Philly. You know, I know the name, I know the brand, but I wasn't aware that he was from Philly. So that I had to look that up, and I went to Wikipedia and went to his box rec and whatnot and discovered he's from Philly because he kept saying, I'm very, very much feared in Philadelphia. So I'm like, because I know Jaron Ennis is from Philly, but I didn't even know Blair was from there. I heard about his dad, but that's a whole separate story. I wasn't familiar with the backstory. Now, Blair the Flair, again, he has that wrestling type of shtick, and again, he's homeless promoter. So I think he's just looking for an opportunity. Now, there is a sparring session, at least one, between the two, Jaron Boots Ennis and Blair the Flair. So if anyone has it or anybody can point me in the direction of that sparring session, the way Blair is talking, I definitely want to see the sparring, even though I understand sparring is sparring and you can't judge a pro fight by the sparring session. But yet and still, I still want to see it just because he's talking. For me, I've rated Jaron Boots Ennis for quite some time. He's 31-0, 28 knockouts, and he's saying some things that I personally have to see to believe, because I don't really go off of what fighters say and what fighters tell me, because I know I'm going to say a bunch of names, but I've heard fighters badmouth other people in or around their weight class. And when I'm hearing it, I'm like, if you fought that fighter that you're saying ain't ish and ain't this and ain't that, in my mind, I'm thinking when they're saying this, that fighter would destroy you. It's no secret that fighters have a level of almost like delusion, and they feel invincible and bulletproof. It's hard to explain, but if you've been around fighters, you'll understand. Like, I know people who aren't successful pros even talk about they would whoop top pros. Like, man, David Benavidez, or I'll whoop Errol Spence and blah, blah, blah. Like, and I'm like, what? Like, I mean, if that's the case, then you should be in the top 5 in the pros. You know what I'm saying? So fighters by nature, I think, are defiant. Fighters by nature, level of almost delusion where they feel they can beat anyone. And maybe that's what takes you to the top. Plus, I've been in this game so long where I've heard it all. I've heard fighters talk a good game on the All Access, on the 24/7, on these shoulder programming, face-to-faces, the weigh-ins, where the fighter barks up the tree, been calling out a guy, been calling out a girl, oh, I want you. And then when they finally get that golden ticket to the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they get their candy whoop and they get beat. And it's like, man, what happened to all this stuff you? But again, fighters can be delirious, delusional, because everything looks different when you're not in the ring. Like, how many guys have said, oh, Floyd Mayweather, he's not that good. You know, I'll beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm confident I'll be the first to beat him. But how many guys said before they would be the first to beat Floyd, but then when they got in the ring with Floyd, he's better than you thought, and you can't catch him, and he's too elusive, and his ring IQ is too high, and he hits harder than they said he hit. You know what I mean? All these things come into play. Now, before I continue, from the channel's sponsor, make sure you guys stay tuned to the end of this video. I got more to say. And we are back. So as it sits, again, I'm not going off of what Blair the Flair is saying. I understand he's a brand. He's trying to sell himself. Again, I think he's homeless with a promotional outfit. So he's just trying to line up a fight. Plus, you got to keep in mind, Jaron Boots Ennis currently has the IBF strap. So not only if Blair the Flair talks himself into a Boots Ennis fight, he'll probably get a payday. Well, he will get a payday, but getting maybe even a career high payday, and it'll at least be a chance at an opportunity at a belt. So it is what it is. I'm not really mad at him for talking his talk, but he gonna have to show me this, because Jaron Ennis is somebody that I rate, and he's saying things to me don't really jive and add up. But you know, I'm a student of the game, so there's one way to convince me when we don't see eye to eye, and that's to show me. But him saying that he's incredibly fast and unpredictable and counter punchers can't punch him, and he also said in the quote, stronger than Jaron Ennis. Listen, Jaron Boots Ennis is a big welterweight. He's a big for the weight class. So I haven't really seen Jaron Ennis next to Blair Flair to kind of size them up, but Blair's in shape. Jaron Ennis is a bit taller from the eye test, from what I've seen, and he looks to be the bigger of the two. Like if you look at pictures in his offseason and whatnot. So him saying he's stronger and basically more explosive and so unpredictable, because if you're so unpredictable, you lost to Alexa, just recently lost to the Santillian dude, right? And before that, he lost to my dude Speedy Ellis. So if you're so unpredictable and you can't be counterpunched, how did you get stopped by Alexis Rocha, who is solid, but I don't think Alexis Rocha is top 5 welterweight, and that's somebody who beat Blair the Flair, and he talked a lot of trash to him. So when we're talking about barking up the Jaron Boots Ennis tree, be careful what you wish for. But again, I like it because Jaron Boots Ennis has been one of those fighters that has been in a tough position. He's called out. Errol pursued the Crawford fight. Now with Crawford and Errol Spence possibly in limbo, Crawford doesn't really sound like Jaron is in his radar or on his sights and on the menu. So, I mean, who can Jaron Ennis really truly fight that's available, that and is a apt and great title defense? You know what I mean? So it might have to be Mario Barrios. It might have to be a Blair the Flair. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is, but I'm definitely a fan of Boots. So I cannot wait to see who he decides for his first fight in 2024. He's been pretty active times a year, and now he has the IBF. So hopefully that made him more hungry. And if anybody got the sparring tape of Blair the Flair, or you've seen it, point me in the direction, because I'm definitely curious after this new trash talk, talking about I'm feared in Philly and all that. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I'm out.